want us to be, because we have supposedly every text message. Let me just keep, I'm going to write it down on the side. Let me just keep playing his stuff.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out.
Oh, that's why I paused it. I ain't gonna lie to you. By the way, Brian Lewis, thank you for the attendance and appreciate your big act, the biggest and largest hip-hop media outlet. Thank you, my brother. Yo, the reason why I pause this is, you know Shannon Sharpe is under pressure. When have you ever heard a nigga say, yo, they got a 30-second sex tape that they gonna try to put out? Don't put out the 30-second shit. Put out the 10-minute shit. Like, wait, you want the 10 minutes fuck tape out? Or, wait, what? Shannon just greenlit for them to put out the 10-minute sex tape. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
I don't have it, or I would myself.
He's talking about a sex tape.
In your edit, put the whole video out. So, hey, Tony, instead of the stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly, on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Now, pretty good statement. And trust me, you know, I've been under the fire. I've been under the gun before, too. Let me tell you this. I'm a talkative motherfucker. Y'all know I talk shit all day. Shannon Sharpe runs his mouth all day. Shannon, what you're saying right here is not going to be true. Because the person making accusations against you is going to get to a point where you talking is just not going to help the actual civil case. Like, you gotta let your lawyers do the talking, which, it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, being a black man, and it's not necessarily a black man, but being someone being under litigation, bro, you can't really talk about that much. So this whole thing that Shannon's saying, oh, I'm gonna be mad transparent, and yeah, nigga, look at the court documents and what my lawyers say. You can't really say that much. So I'm gonna call cap on that. There's no way Shannon Sharpe is gonna record one of these videos daily, because the accuser's lawyer is going to put out shit daily. Trust. Like, these personal injury litigators know how to play the media. They're going to put out the wildest shit. Now, first and foremost, we have found this woman. The young woman, which, by the way, I've been, you know, me, I'm a pocket watcher, all type of watchers, you know what I mean? Just not a penis watcher. She's gained about 50,000 followers today. So apparently this is the woman who's accusing Shannon Sharpe. I believe she is like 20 years old, or was 20 years old when he met her. He met her in the gym. She's a workout girl, which, does she have a BBL? Some of these pictures are kind of risque, but it's posted on Instagram and allowed on Instagram. I mean, the glutes is kind of looking all right, so maybe she be in the gym. So Shannon Sharpe apparently meets her in the gym, walks up to her, and, you know, this is why, you know, in court, some of these things ain't going to play well. You know, they're going to basically sum up Shannon Sharpe as this walking around big, buff, macho black dude who thinks he's entitled because he's on TV, ESPN, and he has a very big podcast. So he's assuming everybody should just bend to his whim. Like, for example, when we read the lawsuit last night, the lawsuit, and by the way, look, she just turned 22. Right? So, look, 5 hours ago. Oh, she edited this. Why she edited 5 hours ago? Something must have happened. So, it's my birthday. When was this thing posted? This shit was posted back in December. It's my birthday. I'm going to do whatever I want. Love you all forever. By the way, she's not putting her page on private, none of that. So, Shannon Sharpe met her back in 2023. So, she's 22 now. She was 20 then. The way they're going to paint this in court is that Shannon Sharpe, who was in his 50s, walked over in the gym to a woman who's a young, supposedly she a fitness influencer slash OnlyFans, and essentially just use his power and influence to basically tell her she was going to be interested in him. So she's actually acting like she was coerced to even fuck with him, right? Like they're going with she's a young woman, he's an old man, but he's coming over and being like, yo, you know what? Like, yo, apparently he says to her, the first line was, I wonder when you were going to introduce yourself to me. Almost like very presumptive, like, yo, I'm Shannon Sharpe and I'm in here. Why you ain't come talk to me yet? You get what I'm saying? Anyway, supposedly he then tells her that she should pull up on him later. She claims she didn't want to go to the crib. She says he's insistent, and she felt she had no choice to go to his house. She goes to his house. He says she's to his bedroom or walks upstairs to his bedroom, and because she don't know what to do, she follows him. She says basically he goes to the bathroom, so she's like sitting there, that edge of the bed shit, like, what are we about to do? Why are we here? Why are we in the bedroom? And she says he comes back from the bathroom, whatever, goes to the bed, and basically starts laying up with her and starts making her suck his dick. Okay? And apparently she says the first words he says to her was, yo, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you. Which, that's crazy. But, again, this is all alleged. This is her story, kind of like making Shannon Sharpe seem like this very pompous, arrogant guy who thinks he could have his way with anybody on earth and is using some of this, not only physical intimidation, but the power, money, and influence to get what he wants. She says she fucks him that night. He kicks her out or tells her she has to leave. Then he tells her she has to leave early in the morning because I guess he has to do some show on ESPN. He tells her, come back at 9 p.m. She claims she was 5 minutes late the next day returning to the house, which, by the way, if you're feeling uncomfortable already, you left, why come back? Whatever. She came back and she was 5 minutes late. Says Shannon Sharpe start violating her. Like, bitch, you wasting my time. What the fuck you got going on? Da, da, da. Going crazy. Okay? By the way, let me make sure I'm reading my donations and everything. Thank you guys. And I've figured out what the coins are on TikTok, so thank you guys as well over there. We're cooking right now. We're cooking. I love reading you guys' comments because you guys been, hey, when I'm speaking about this shit, I've been through the gamut. Like, I know what a day like this is one thing. Let me tell you this. And I know I'm tangent guy, so I'm sorry, but this is why I stream for 6 hours, okay? I just talk. I used to be the guy in the media where people didn't really know about me. These days, they're dropping body cam footage of me with my dogs or me getting pulled over. Not necessarily think I'm like this big celebrity, but like people clearly are interested a little bit more than the stories I report on because my job was to report on other people. But now people seem like they care about my life. Cool. So, what kind of happened is that with that, you get to understand the other side of it. Bro, I used to report stories about a lot of people. And I was just like, all right, shit, it's a lit engagement day for me because it's a big story. It wasn't until people said things about me that not only weren't true, but I saw the whole internet talk about me. And y'all know some of those days. There was some days to be like, yo, Ak is going through it today. I know how that felt. I remember specifically when I went to go interview Candace Owens and the blogs were on fire about me. And I remember just kind of sitting there and I'm like scrolling. Bro, it feels shitty. It does. It does. And especially like I've been through it a bunch of times. So like I kind of know like nothing will cure this but time. You got to let the time pass. But I do know, and it makes me report a little bit different. Because niggas is, Shannon Sharpe today, because especially he had this $100 million lingering, bro, his stomach is turning, my nigga, like he's hurt. Bro, not saying that he's a victim or nothing like that, but he's going through it. And that's why the way I report now, I try to, not saying I was unfair at a point, but you have to be under the gun to have some empathy for someone under the gun. Not saying they're innocent, but you got to have that empathy. You get what I'm saying?